So after several weeks spent moving all of my glass fusing things from the bedroom upstairs down into the family room on the first floor, I'm finally back to fusing. And I'm going to be working on more of these little snowmen pendant and earring sets. I have two different styles. One, it looks like it has a button nose. One looks like it has a carrot nose. I like the ones with the carrot nose much, much better. So I'll be working on those today. For the white part of the earring, that face part, I need a 1/2 inch strip of white. For the pendant face, I need 3/4 of an inch. And I'm going to square them up. This one is the 11330 white. It's just from the scrap bin. And then I have to go and see what I've got for red. And for every large square, I need 2 small squares. In the past, I would have used my tile nippers and nipped the edges to make them rounded, but I have my daughter-in-law's grinder. So I'm just going to grind. I'm not going to make them completely round because I think this squared off look is cute. So I'm just going to grind off the edges. First, I need to go to see what red I have. I don't actually have a lot of opaque red. I have this one, 12450. I like that one. I have a lot of transparent red, but I do not want to use transparent red because I want the hook that's embedded to not show. And if I use transparent red, you'd be able to see the hook from the back. I don't want that. So I think this one is going to be it. 12450. I seem to have a bunch of pieces of this. Frame the pieces properly, I need each of these red squares to be 1/8 of an inch larger than the white squares. So instead of my 1/2, I'm going to go 1/8 of an inch bigger. It's a little too close to the edge. And with the larger, it's the same. I'm just going to go to my 3/4, and then I need 1/8 of an inch larger. So when you stack them, you will have the red around the edge. I'm gonna need to get some more red because the holidays are coming and I am really low. I don't have any sheets of red at all. And even my scrap bin is pretty low. So when you trim them both, you'll have a red border around the white. Have to make a whole bunch more frit balls because all of the ones I have are larger. So I probably have the right size for the eyes, but I certainly don't have the right size for the mouth, and the earrings are even smaller. So I'm gonna have to make up a bunch of frit balls. What I've been using is medium frit. I just put it in the fiber kiln and run it for 10 minutes and it makes these beautiful little frit balls. So I'm gonna do that before I move on. These frit sifters, and I want larger pieces, so I'm gonna take the medium frit and I'm gonna run it through and catch the largest pieces from this container. Okay, so these are all set in this fiber kiln. Fuseworks craft kiln, really beat up, old, used a lot,
and not programmable. It's either on or off, so I'm gonna leave it on for 10 minutes.
While I'm waiting for that kiln to finish, I need to dig through this bin of mixed stringers and pull out all the orange ones that I could use for a little carrot nose. As I was moving things, I found my wire wrapping jig. And because I want these to be fairly consistent, I'm going to make all of the little hangers on here. So you start the bend, put it over the post, grab it with the pliers, and pinch. And you end up with that same little loop. And then you bend the legs back because you want something to grip the glass. You don't want it to be able to slide back out.
These are done, but it's going to take a while for them to cool down. So I think I'm done for the day.
No, I am not. I forgot. I have to round off all of these. So that's up next. So both this and the Torah saw use water, but this one tends to splash all over the place. So I have a big towel underneath it. I'm going to be goggled because it tends to spit things up, and masked. And I also wear an apron. I do 2 passes on each corner. So it's rounded, but still very squared off, which is just how I want it. As an aside, I really should have used the cut-proof gloves when using that grinder. I really roughed up the tips of my fingers. And I've since ordered a pair, but I should have ordered them first. Anyway, here are my frit balls, all done, cleaned. And now what I need to do is make up pairs of the largest of them for eyes on the largest snowmen, and then work my way through. I need a pair of eyes and 4 to 5 little frit balls for each mouth. The larger ones for the larger, and the tiny ones for the earrings. And then I need to make up little carrot noses as well. And now you start assembly. So you put glue on the back, red piece. You're gonna take one of your hangers, make sure it's centered. Put the top on. Put your eyes on. Put your nose on. And after I have all the eyes and noses on, then I go back and do the mouths, because the mouths are the tiniest of these little dots. Well, it looks like I may need more of the teeny tiny frit balls. I'll go back through the container and see if I have any tiny ones in the bottom of here. I'm gonna need a lot more than that to do all the little mouths on the earrings. You have to make sure that you keep adjusting to see and checking if anything has slid where it does not belong. And this one right here, you can see the hook has come out the edge a little, so you have to tuck that back in. And until the glue dries, you just have to keep checking and making sure everything stays where you want it to be. Okay, these are finally ready. They're in the kiln and I'll fire them overnight. I have some space up here that I would normally fill, but these just took forever. And so I'm gonna run it this way. I put a layer of clear powder on it. The clear powder helps all those frit balls stay in place. It is the next morning and everything is complete and cooled. Oh, they are absolutely adorable.